Seguimos con más escala clásica disfrutando de la historia de la marca norteamericana Jeep.
The Jeepster was a true Phaeton. It had a convertible top. It doesn't have side windows. It's got these plastic side curtains like the British sports cars. It's got big open fenders. It's got a stick shift. It's got manual steering. And you drive it, and it's got a vintage feel, and it smells of burning oil and gasoline.
The Jeepster was marketed to the young at heart, to college kids, to young couples.
And it's so easy for a woman to handle. It's really fun to drive.
The Jeepster was a vehicle without any real function, but it was a fun vehicle. It was a vehicle designed to take the work out of Jeep vehicles and put recreation and pleasure into the name.
The Kaiser Industries had their own car company, Kaiser Fraser, and it was just about ready to go out of business, and Mr. Kaiser could not stand the thought of failure.
Kaiser's acquisition of Willis Overland in the early 1950s resulted in a significant leap forward for Jeep engineering and technology. The new J-Series of Gladiator pickups and Wagoneer station wagons was introduced during this time, as well as the forward control truck and the Jeepster Commando. But for off-road enthusiasts of the brand, it was Kaiser's new civilian Jeep vehicle which made the strongest impression.
CJ5 had a little bit more power than the old flat fender. They pumped up the hood to fit the taller engine underneath it and rounded out the fenders. The CJ5 got people acquainted with the Jeep as a recreational vehicle.
Jeepers Jamboree started here in Georgetown in 1953. A group of Rotarians and local business people did something to try and help stimulate the economy. When we started our first Jamboree, we only had 55 Jeeps and 150 people. And we went around, and everybody we knew that had a Jeep, we begged them to go.
Very much a part of the American culture is our appreciation for the great outdoors, for the outdoor experience, for frontiers, for exploring. The Jeep became the ideal vehicle for realizing those goals.
I think it's the challenge of it. Adventure, sport, all these kind of things together. It's rather like when you ride a Jeep, you're not really driving it, you're riding it. You're riding on it rather than in it.
The experiences that people have when they're off driving, we talk about those sometimes as being extraordinary or peak experiences. That is, that they're emotionally intense. They push their boundaries a little bit by going where people haven't been before. You feel
Jeep had a designer on retainer. He was an independent, a fellow out in Milwaukee by the name of Brooks Stevens. He signed on with Willys Overland in 1943. He stayed on until 1969.
They took a plain performing vehicle and started wrapping it with some comfort items.
All of a sudden you had a four-door sport utility vehicle where before they had always been two-door vehicles.
The Jeep Wagoneer introduced the use of automatic transmissions, air conditioning,
comfortable seats, power brakes.
Quadratrack is now on every Wagoneer. This rally-winning four-wheel drive system with automatic transmission, power steering, and the 360 V8 are now standard.
Quadratrack, introduced in the mid-1970s, was a milestone.
Quadratrack was the first full-time four-wheel drive, where you didn't shift back and forth between two-wheel and four-wheel.
The system afforded full four-wheel drive without the driver having to get outside and turn in manual locking hubs or play around with levers or anything else.
Why don't you go someplace where no one has ever been before? All you need is the Jeep. It's got guts, rugged Jeep guts.
You'll never make it. Wow! My Jeep Cherokee can go anywhere, especially when two-wheel drive wagons are snowed in. That's why I'm the most popular mom in Jeep country.
The popularity of the Cherokee was exceptional. It was immediately perceived as a vehicle that could be used by people in urban, suburban, and rural settings.
They put big wheels on it, they put big fender flares, they put stripes on it, they put beautiful upholsteries in there, and they marketed it as a family sport wagon. And my God, what an idea that was. And people looked at it, and men and women alike said, that's a terrific idea.
American Motors introduced new Jeep vehicles like the Comanche pickup truck and the V8-powered CJ7. Loaded with such amenities as automatic transmission and quadra-track, AMC's CJ7 was the most popular Jeep vehicle to ever come out of the CJ series.
Wow, look at this! Wow, this is tough!
By the late 1970s, American Motors was building more Jeep vehicles than ever and selling them not only in the United States, but to off-road enthusiasts all over the world.